Okay, so I watched Army of the Dead the other day, and I was gonna cover it right then and there, but I couldn't be bothered. So here is a video on Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which is a 2021 zombie heist movie, which has been dumped onto Netflix after being in development hell for about a decade. So that would probably suggest that it is pretty shit. So was it shit? The answer to that is no. Zack Snyder's first ever movie was actually Dawn of the Dead, which is a remake of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and it's pretty good. It has one of the best opening 10 minutes of any movie. I think it's Zack Snyder's best movie he's ever made. And this movie is pretty similar. It opens with a really great montage of the zombie outbreak starting. The characters who we're going to follow escaping from Las Vegas, how Las Vegas gets walled in, the army's last stand. That's maybe like the first 10-15 minutes. That's pretty good. But the first thing I did notice about this movie is how goddamn long it is. It is 2.5 hours long. The first thing I thought to myself was, why does Army of the Dead need to be 2.5 hours long? The last thing I was thinking after I watched the movie was, why did Army of the Dead have to be 2.5 hours long? The other problem with this movie is it is as predictable as all hell. The only way it could have been less predictable is if Zack Snyder had actually sent me a script about 6 months ago and I'd bothered to read it. Because he takes a principle of Chekhov's gun to the extreme. That being that if you show a gun in the first act, it has to fire in the third act. The only problem is that he combines that with the principle of 3, where you have to then remind the audience about the gun before using it. He uses the reminder to basically just outline exactly what is going to happen with the gun. So it was real predictable as to what is going to happen at all times in this movie. The action is pretty fantastic though, and there is some awesome gore. I really enjoyed those bits. I wish they had cut out 30 to 40 minutes of the movie though, so that we could have had just a lot tighter story, a lot tighter pacing, and the action would have carried this to being a much more enjoyable experience. The other problem with this movie is that it has some extreme tonal changes. Zack Snyder is at his best as a director when he isn't being that serious, when he knows the movie he is making is dumb as fuck. And this movie is dumb as fuck. And quite often it's wink wink nod nod, we know this is dumb as fuck, but let's just go with it, and I'm fine with that. The problem is when the movie is at its dumbest is also where the movie tries to make us take it seriously, which is really it just doesn't kind of mesh together very well. It's fine to be like wink wink this is stupid, but then you can't be like wink wink this is stupid whilst you're also at the same time being wink wink this is serious, because then it just doesn't work. Which is more this is just like the action is so over the top, so crazy that you just can't take it seriously, but the movie wants you to take it seriously, so you can't. But other than that, I kind of enjoyed this. It was fine. Enjoyable enough. Would have been way better if it was 30 to 40 minutes shorter. Some really great action. There are absolutely tons of gore in this, so if you're a gore hound, you'll enjoy that. The zombies having a sort of society is kind of interesting, but even that kind of goes a little bit too far. So I'm going to give this 2.5 stars out of 5. It's better than Zack Snyder's DC stuff, but to be fair, that's not difficult.